Good evening, and thank you for joining me here today at Sacred Rose Tarot 1111. Today we have a message coming to us from White Eagle Ancestor Spirit. It says, connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. That's beautiful. I can't wait to see what this says, what's coming out to us today. All right, and this card is coming to us from the Keepers of the Light Oracle cards by Kyle Gray. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. This helps grow our channel. Also, please remember to keep what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, and it says here, White Eagle is a Native American shaman who is dedicated to honoring our spiritual heritage. He is a world-renowned spiritual guide who has been particularly cherished by mediums all over the world. He first spoke through a medium called Grace Cook in the early 20th century. He is the guide who helps create clear channels in our bloodline and our spiritual lineage so we can access the heart of the Creator. He also helps us move into sacred ceremony, where we can hold sacred space to honor a change, transition, celebration, or anything else that deserves time. He is wonderful for clearing space, and we can call on him for help in forging spiritual connections. The extended message says, take some time to honor just how far you have come, recognizing through ceremony and ritual the shifts in your awareness. Healing and journey really allows you to move into a state of grace and gratitude. You have, or have recently had, an opportunity to heal an old family wound or pattern. It's important to connect with your family and spirit so that you can set a new energy of love in place. White Eagle is bringing your ancestors through to you and allowing you to know that they are happy and well. He is sounding his sacred drums to clear your spirit. Wow, that's really amazing. I love where it says you have or have recently had an opportunity to heal an old family wound or pattern. And then, because that really resonates with yesterday's message. And it says here that you can set a new energy of love in place. I wonder how we can do that. This is very interesting. Set a new energy of love to replace what you healed. Okay. And let's see here. This oracle card is coming to us from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Let's see what we have here. It's card number 42. 4 plus 2 is 6. The word wants to be written. We have a lot of butterflies on here, so that tells me like transformation. And her third eye is really lit up here, so it's like it's something intuitive, maybe. Her eyes are closed, but her third eye is beaming, and she's got all these like concentric circles around her. Okay. Well, let's see what this card is going to tell us. So it comes to us from the Sacred Rebels Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Card number 42 says, you might have been taught that creativity is something you have to work hard to access, or that finding your life purpose is so difficult that you must search high and low for it. Yet what you are is within you and wants to come out at every available opportunity. You don't have to struggle so much. It is more about allowing space for it to manifest and to let the energy flow. The real struggle is not in finding something. It is more about letting go of the idea that you need to search for your path in the first place. You see, the process of activating your life path is a natural one. The effort is in getting out of the way, not in making something happen. Okay. As for being yourself, that is the foundation from which your true life path will reveal itself. Being yourself becomes easier when you give yourself permission to love, honor, and accept yourself in all circumstances, especially the ones where you might be more tempted to reject and judge. Give the sacred rebel within the opportunity to decide your values, irrespective of whether they meet with general social acceptance. The oracle brings you the message that what you are dreaming of or seeking to do, create, live, or manifest is actually very natural for you. That is why you want to do it. If you experienced controlling and manipulative forces as you were growing up, you would have found it hard to access your natural state at that time. You would have been too busy trying to adapt and get through the trials of childhood. When you finished navigating childhood and started to let go of who you were taught to be in order to become who you really are, you may have found your life path was not easily accessible. That is simply because your true and natural self was covered by layers of shame from the early conditioning that you had to be other than you are in order to win love or be acceptable. Wow, that's really heavy. And I don't know if you've ever done any kind of inner child healing, but yeah, that is, to me, that's speaking right to that. Okay, let's keep going. However, that natural self hasn't gone anywhere. It is still there within you. Now it is just about chipping away at the walls of shame, perhaps with a defiant, "Who the hell cares? I'm here and I'm going to love myself anyway." This allows you to risk bearing the feeling of any shame that arises as you release old emotional wounds and break away from any restraints to unconditional self-love. The sacred rebel within can empower you to love yourself no matter what, simply because you want to. You might decide to declare, "I am still lovable, so put that in your pipe and smoke it." So maybe there's also some inner teen healing too here, it sounds like. This will send an energetic message to whomever shamed you in the first place, whether they meant to or not. Your message could be going to a parent, school teacher, sibling, friend, lover, or anyone else that was struggling enough with their own shame wound that they couldn't help but dump it on you. You can be freed to realize that the shame is just an emotion, not a truth, and you can defy any hold it has ever had on you and your ability to love yourself. This oracle brings you the guidance that you are now powerful enough to break the cycle. It is time to stop the shame and claim yourself in love instead. What you want to write, sing, dance, or become is you. It is natural. Drop your defenses, get into the grit, and confront the power that any old shaming has had over you. It's finished now. It is time for you to be naked with yourself. Acknowledge how, let's see, we got another page here, it looks like. This one just keeps going, doesn't it? Acknowledge how gorgeous you are and get on with your work. Life is urging you to do so because the work wants to happen. What you want to create wants to be created. The word wants to be written. You just need to let go of any remnants of the past that have been in your way. Step firmly over them and on to your path. It says here, there's a healing process. If you choose to, you can say this, and I would encourage you to say it out loud. It says right here, say aloud. I now choose to forgive and release any person, situation, or circumstance that has ever been a source of shame or shaming for me, whether conscious or unconscious. I now release this from my body, mind, and heart through unconditional love. I choose to claim myself instead. I love, accept, and claim all of me under the loving protection and wisdom of life. I choose to live as myself now. I call on the unconditionally loving assistance that life wishes to send me for this journey now. I honor my creative power and my innate worth. So be it. Be kind to yourself. Say this every day for the next few days or however long it takes for you to believe it. You are worth the effort. Oh, that's really beautiful. And a very heavy, heavy message. Wow. Wow. So, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it. There is something called inner child healing. If you're new to, if that term is like, or that statement is something that's kind of a new idea or a new thing you've never heard of, I would definitely encourage you to research it. There are some very good resources on YouTube about inner child healing. I know personally I've done some meditation, and in that meditative work, I mean, immediately I could tell when I came out of the meditation that it was different. And it was beautiful and healing for me, quite honestly. So I would definitely encourage that. Also, a fairly newer concept that I think probably in the last 6 to 8 months I've heard of was inner teen healing. And I thought, wow, that is a really interesting concept because I mean, I definitely felt like personally I had some inner teen angst, some like rebellious stuff going on that I had to deal with. And it was like, it's okay to be pissed off and listen to some like obnoxious punk or rage metal or whatever to kind of get it out, maybe cuss or shake your fist or whatever. Get your old Dog Martens out of the closet and stomp around. But, and I know I sort of say it in jest, but it really was helpful. And I didn't have to do a lot of inner teen healing, but I think personally what it stemmed from was like, and I won't get too much into it, but just to kind of give you an idea of some of the things that may resonate or may not, was that as a teen, I dealt with some body shaming. And I remember there was a time where I actually bought like boys' shorts and shirts and stuff because I didn't like how short the girls' shorts were and how form-fitting and all of that stuff. So I felt like it kind of over-sexualized me as a teenager. And so I would wear sort of like loose and baggy clothes and maybe was something that wasn't very like form-fitting. And so I kind of struggled with that own self-imposed body image stuff, And so I went back and sort of meditated and revisited that kind of stuff and let it go and released it. And I remember that during that time growing up, 11:11 on the clock, we had, there was a lot of strife, I think, teenage angst. It was a time when there was a lot of punk rock and grunge rock and metal and all of this stuff. And just a time when I guess maybe we were just expected to be pissed off all the time. I'm not exactly sure. But I went back and also did some meditation on that personally and was like trying to heal it and work through it. And like, I didn't have to be pissed off all the time. It's okay, yes, to be mad, and you can honor emotions when you are mad, but it almost felt like it was like this expected thing. Like it was, you're supposed to be angry and upset, but I didn't always feel like I wanted to be. I was kind of more like I wanted to be happy-go-lucky and just kind of silly and goofy more often than not. So I had to go back and do some healing work with that. And I'm not going to continue on telling you guys my story because I don't want to like make this a reading about me or anything, but I just wanted to share that in case perhaps this is a new concept in terms of healing inner teen wounds or inner child work and that kind of stuff. So I can definitely attest to the fact that meditation, doing meditative work helps with that. And I did find those resources on YouTube as well. I can't remember, unfortunately, what exact channels they were or where I did it with, like what content creator, but they're out there. So just, explore if it's something you're interested in taking a look at and sort of diving a little bit more personally into. So yeah, there's some good resources out there for that. Now where this was talking about, to me, I really got that inner child vibe. When White Eagle came out and it was talking about you have or have recently healed something with your lineage and now you can replace it with love. I'm wondering if that sort of is going in together with, if anybody else is resonating with this, like something was healed, and this definitely almost feels like it is dovetailing off of yesterday's reading, quite honestly. If you haven't, go back and listen to that. But something has been healed. You've healed something in like a generational chain breaker. You broke some sort of curse that has, or not, maybe not even a curse. Maybe it was just like a karma, some sort of karmic bond or karmic something, right? Something was healed, and not just for you, through your work and what you're doing here in this incarnation, but through your whole family line. And I really got yesterday in that message, it felt very maternal from the maternal side. And it felt very related to love in some form or fashion. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that's what today's message is about. We'll just have to keep, get into the reading and see what's going on. But this feels like now that it's been healed and our ancestors are happy and proud of us, the word wants to be written. Now we get to bring in this new feeling of love and replace it. We took something out, healed it, and now what do we want to put in its place? How do we want to bless our ancestors and our whole family lineage? So let's see what comes out in the tarot. First card out is Wish Fulfillment, 9 of Cups. Nine of Cups is just that. It's basically a wish fulfilled. And I'm kind of getting like this with this one guy here. And maybe it took 9 incarnations. Maybe it was like, I don't know, 9,000 years. It could have been a long time, right? It could have been 9 generations where people weren't able to heal it. But now this one person that came to you as this one that could heal whatever it was in your family line, in your lineage. And it's this wish fulfilled through the generations. It's a wish that your whole ancestor line. Whoa. Whoa, that's big work. And it just hit me like this major power wave, just boom. You were the one, like you're the one to break this, whatever it was, and fix it and heal it. And now it's a time to celebrate. Now your ancestors and everybody are freed from this, whatever karmic bond it was. And you healed it. And it has to do with some sort of emotion, because this is emotional fulfillment too. It's emotionally fulfilling. That's beautiful. And we have King of Wands. So King of Wands tells me this, whatever focused energy, you see how he's looking straight at this wand over here. Very focused and determined. So somehow maybe in this incarnation you were very focused and determined. You knew you had a job to do. It was a big job and you had a big role to fill. Maybe it has to do with more than just your family line. Maybe it has to do with something for the whole planet. I mean, it could be, because I'm getting like something bigger than just your family line. When I see this, all of these concentric circles around this card here, and all of this transformation, maybe you're able to alchemize and do something different that no other person could do from your family line. And so you're here to raise this vibration and perform something that's going to be very big to heal more than just your family line. Maybe this is like for the whole earth, you know, not just you, of course. This is probably a light worker that I'm speaking to. Somebody that is resonating with this probably is somebody who is involved in the metaphysical in some way, shape, or form, has some sort of healing modalities, and is very in tune to spirit, God, creator, source, divine spirit, Holy Spirit, the universe, Jesus, whoever you pray to. You're very in tune with that spiritual relationship. And this is like, you came during this incarnation for a purpose and you're doing it. And so it's very big. It's a big deal. Because that's this King of Wands energy, right? This is somebody who is ambitious, fiery, passionate, keeps their eye on the prize, and is mature, makes good decisions, and doesn't back down. They also don't necessarily follow the regular path. They're the rebels, the rule breakers, and they can chart a new course. And we also have Queen of Swords. So this is somebody who embodies a lot of logic, makes fair and balanced, impartial decisions, does have emotions, but doesn't make their decisions from that emotional space necessarily. So this may mean that you have had to stand in your Queen of Swords energy, which would be like speaking your truth. And sometimes that can be a little bit challenging or intimidating, especially if it's not resonating with people that you care about, people that are important to you, and maybe in some cases, even like family members, where you're like, this is what I know to be true. This is what I know in my heart. And maybe somebody disagrees with you. And so that can be challenging sometimes. But this tells me, coming up with this right after the King of Wands, with this fiery, passionate, very focused energy, like eyes on the prize. I'm not going to get swayed from this. I'm here for a purpose, and I know what my purpose is. I figured it out. And this card behind it was talking a lot about finding your purpose. And because you know it's in you and the word wants to be written, so now you're doing it. So you've embraced this Queen of Swords energy and made pretty much no bones about it. You're doing what you said you're going to do and you set out to do. That's cool. So we have Knight of Wands energy. Knight of Wands is the fastest moving horse in the deck, fastest moving energy. So you got an idea, you figured it out. So something's coming to you. Something is making more sense. So there's some sort of clarity coming from this information. Maybe when we were talking about White Eagle first speaking through a medium, a psychic medium in the 20th century, maybe you have some sort of new gift being unlocked. Maybe you've been interested in learning more about mediumship, and so that could be something that's coming through here. And whatever it is, you figured out, you know, of course, take it as it resonates, whatever is something you're interested in. And it could be any number of things, right? But you figured out how to sort of put it all together. And now you're going with that energy. This is like quick moving energy, and you're ready to take action. And temperance is here. So the temperance angel is alchemy. So we're alchemizing. We are being patient. We've been patient through the places when we needed to be patient, or, you know, holding space. This makes me think of holding space. And I know that's kind of sometimes can be sort of a cliche term, like, well, what does it mean to hold space? Well, when you hold space for, like, let's say for a friend who's maybe grieving, maybe they had a loss of a relationship, they're brokenhearted, something happened. Holding space for that person would look like you are just sitting with them, maybe holding their hands, or maybe just, you know, with an arm around their shoulder and just being there with them, present in the moment, and letting them fully be themselves and free and expressing their emotion. And there's like, you're holding no judgment. You're just there for that person. And you're showing them by being there and present in that moment that they are very important to you and that you love them from a genuine space. And so that you're holding that space is what they call that. So I feel like you've been very patient in learning something new, a new gift that has been bestowed upon you. And also, while that's happening, I feel like there was also some major healing with this karmic breaking stuff for your ancestral line going on at the same time. So, because you're alchemizing, you're doing like multiple things at once. Whoever this is resonating with, I'm getting that you're very multi-talented and multi-gifted and very unique. And what you do is, and he's even got his feet in the water here, this angel here. So there's healing. So while you're tempering this stuff, while you're learning new gifts, while you're having new gifts bestowed upon you, while you're healing generational karma for your family line and your whole lineage, you're also healing the world by holding space and shining your light and doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. And it's all leading to this brighter tomorrow over here on the horizon. Wow, that is really something. That is really, really beautiful. And your energy is just radiant. It's this beautiful, radiant energy. It really is. And you make it look easy. See how the angel's just kind of just gliding, like just alchemizing, you know, mixing in this cup, mixing in that cup, standing here with my foot, healing everybody. Okay. You make it look easy. Wow. You're super talented. Whoever this is resonating with, if nobody has told you today that you're amazing, I want you to know that you're friggin' amazing. This is beautiful, beautiful energy. Wow. Okay. And we have more major arcana. How many major, we got like more, how many major arcana? We got court cards. So this is the second major arcana card. Okay. It's a lot of power. And we got a lot of angel activity. You could be a light being. You could have some sort of angelic ancestry. You could work with angels, archangels. Traditionally speaking, when you see the Lover's card come out, it talks about this. There's this great angel here. And this is like supposed to represent Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. So original paradise, right? And then we have the snake over here in this tree, which would be the forbidden fruit and temptation. And then we have over here the tree of knowledge. And so wherever this card comes out in a spread, it tells you like, usually there's like a love offer coming in. You have some sort of new divine counterpart being sent to you, or love is coming in, love is being freed, all of those things. But I'm not getting that this is like a relationship type of love. I feel like this is some sort of balanced out feminine and masculine love energy that has not fallen prey to temptation, but has somehow tapped into this tree of knowledge, tapped into some sort of divinity, this divine spark within them. And that's why I feel like these two angels right here together, and this temperance angel, that there's some sort of alchemization has happened to balance this out. And maybe that's where this love came from, this love that's been healed in the family line. And this card talking about being our true authentic self, maybe that has to do with like loving all the parts of us, not only the good parts, but also the parts we're not so happy about, which would sometimes be called, referred to as the shadow parts, right? The ugly parts, parts that were forgotten. And that has a lot to do with inner child wounding, things like that. Because if you did grow up in a household where it was very manipulative or controlling or whatever, unfortunately, kids learn from a very young age in that type of environment that they have to adapt. They have to like behave a certain way to get a positive response from their caregivers, usually the parents or teachers in some case, whoever is like an important person in their life that's sort of like role models, the people that give them, provide for them, their safety, food, housing, all of that stuff. So primarily it's really parents or primary caregivers. And so kids will adapt very quickly. So even if good parts of them have been put and cast into the shadow, for example, and I didn't know this until recently after doing some work myself, but we don't only hide parts of ourselves that we're not proud of. We also hide parts of ourselves from, if this sort of early childhood type of stuff resonates with you, we also hide those parts that are even good because at the time they weren't useful to us. So let's say, for example, somebody ever said, oh, you're just a goody two-shoes, or oh, you're just a little know-it-all, aren't you? Well, then maybe you kind of downplayed or diminished your intelligence. Maybe you really were incredibly smart and like sharp, but then you were like, well, that's not helping me. That's not giving me the attention I need. So somewhere, somehow, there's sort of this like switch that gets flipped in the mind of a small child where they're like, I'm going to hide that part away from me because that part of me did not equate to getting me the attention that I was seeking, that thing I need from my caregiver. So then they're just kind of dumb it down a little bit. I mean, for lack of a better term, or maybe diminish themselves, play small. So it hides away. And then eventually something comes up and bubbles up, and maybe they get straight A's one time, and they're like, look, Mom and Dad, I did so good. I got straight A's. I'm on the A honor roll. They're like, okay, yeah, that's good. Congratulations. And you're like, oh, well, that kind of wasn't the response I was hoping to get. Maybe you brought home a bumper sticker or something and they never put it on the car, or they just like threw it away, or I mean, it could be any number of things, right? Sorry, I just had to take a drink. So somehow, some way, for an example, that's something that would be a good thing, to be intelligent and sharp and, studious and all of that, that maybe ended up in the shadow because it wasn't something that helped you as a young child get the care or the response that you're looking for. So I feel like there's some alchemization, there's some shadow work going on. I feel like there's inner child healing, inner teen healing. There's ancestral lines being cleared up and karma being released. And it's like all of this stuff happening. And I feel like your team, your spirit team is totally backing you on this and helping you out. And I feel like you've got angels, archangels, you've got a team that is like major. They're major players. They're strong. There's a lot of power coming from this. I mean, man, this is major power. And it almost feels like, and quite honestly, I don't know how many times we incarnate back to this planet, but or incarnate wherever we go, to be quite honest. But I I'm kind of getting like, what if this is your last incarnation here? It's like, this is the last time we're going to do this, so we got to do it right. Let's bring in the heavy hitters. Let's bring in all the big major players to make it happen. I'm kind of getting like that. So it was kind of a big deal. And I don't know if it's just you and your family line. I feel like there's a lot more going on. And with the stuff that's happening all over the world, it's like there's a bigger picture. There's something bigger at play here. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we got. So yeah, we got some collaboration. This would definitely confirm that you're collaborating with your spirit team. Your spirit team's working with you. Because in this card, it's not just a group of people to get together and say, hey, we got this idea. We want to build something. Okay, cool. I'm a carpenter. You're an architect and you're a sculptor. Let's figure out what we want to build and make this pretty thing. Well, no, these are master craftsmen. These are masters at their craft. These are the experts. These are the ones that teach everybody else what to do. So this could be like when we link it in and connect it with the, the spirit team, all of this power that's coming in to help you do these things that you're doing. Maybe that goes right along with it. Like, you got the A team, man. The best of the best to make this happen. So you're somebody very powerful, and you've got all this powerful support, even making you more stronger. If that's I don't know, more stronger. I'm not sure how to say that. And then we have King of Pentacles here. So you're very abundant. You're somebody who has it figured out. You are able to, I'm getting that you're a master manifester also. You could be a generator. You could also be a master manifest generator. The King of Pentacles is somebody who's very abundant. Usually this person they know how to create multiple streams of income, that kind of thing. They have this generational wealth thing going on, and they can teach other people how to do it too. So there's a certain level of mastery and skill and knowledge. And coming off of here, it just further builds on this whole mastery experts and having this massive amount of knowledge and skill. And then we have 10 of Pentacles. So whoever you are, I mean, congratulations. If this is resonating with you, please share in the comments what's going on, because this is beautiful. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. And you also not only healed it, but replaced that wound, healed the wound, and then made it better. So it sort of like makes me think of, if somebody has a wound, right? It has to be debrided, which means you got to clean it out. And that's not always pretty. Sometimes you even have to go to, like, if your wound is really severe enough, you might even have to have surgery to cut out the decayed flesh, cut out anything that's damaged, and brush it out, scrub it out, clean it out, flush it out, and then heal it by putting some medicine in there, maybe super gluing it, stitching it, stapling it, however severe it is, and then keeping that wound clean and dry and taking care of it, showing that, tenderness, gentleness, that, infusing all the healing and medicine and helping it heal, right? But instead of being some like total mess, or if it did heal on its own, being like this ugly scarred thing, now instead, since it's been debrided, it's been properly cleaned out and sanitized and purified and healed up properly, now it's going to be just a clean line, maybe even a faded scar that's hardly even visible at all. So you've taken out this wound, cleaned it out, loved it, healed it, and restored it and made it something else completely. Oh, this is so beautiful. And the final card is 10 of Pentacles. So because you've done this, now you've arrived at this place of like generational wealth, legacy wealth, like your whole family, the whole line. Look, we got an old person here. We got young people over here. We got a little kid over here. Even the dogs are happy. I mean, it's like everything you've ever wanted for your family. You've achieved it. You've come to this place. You've arrived at this place through all of this work, through all of this hard work. The inner child work. I'm going to move these just to the side so we can see this card again. The inner child work, the inner teen work, this healing internally. And then after you've done that, you become this master alchemist, a transmuter. And you're sending out this transformation. It's like she's sending these butterflies out of her third eye. Like, I'm sending out transformation all over the place to transform anybody this light touches, anybody that hears the word spoken or whatever it is. The word wants to be written. So maybe it's anybody who reads what this, you've written or whatever you've said. Whoever looks at it, it's like this magic happens. It's like something so divine that even if they look at it, it starts to transform and change something within them. I mean, that's massive power, you guys. That is so beautiful. I mean, it's just like, it almost makes me want to cry. It's so beautiful. And look at her tears, it's like they're black. It's almost like she's cried over the shadow. It's like it's poured out from her, but she healed it and she's still beautiful and radiant. And now she's using this third eye. It's like this whole level up. Almost like ethereal, like she's not even in body. It's like out of body. Maybe you can send healing waves to people. Maybe when you say, I'm going to send you healing vibes, maybe you really do it. This is like amazing, you guys. And I don't even know what else to say. So please, if this message resonates, share in the comments. Tell us, help our little community get connected a little more. And I hope this brought some clarity. I hope it brought some encouragement and messages that are useful. Please remember, not every message is going to resonate, and that's totally okay, right? Because we're all on our different journeys, different parts of our journey. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Please like, share, subscribe, help grow our channel, and tune in for next time. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, White Eagle, for bringing us this message today. Love and light. Take care.